Damning embarrassment for the Delhi police. Three activists get bail in the Delhi riots UAPA case. The Delhi High Court has trashed the riot conspiracy case, saying right to protest, not terrorist activity. The High Court said the state anxious to suppress dissent. The High Court said if this mindset gains traction, it would be a sad day for democracy. Top focus on To The Point this evening.
Viewers, I'm Preeti Chaudhary. You're watching To The Point. This was a big verdict. It was equally embarrassing for the Delhi police as it was for the state. The state pretty much read the Riot Act by the Delhi High Court, which said today that the state was anxious in trying to establish sedition and what was a terrorism activity, which in what the Delhi High Court feels was not a terrorist activity, but the right to protest. Three activists have already spent 1 year in jail, 1 full year, to be given bail today. Take a look at this report.
In its anxiety to suppress dissent, in the mind of the state, the line between the constitutionally guaranteed right to protest and terrorist activities seems to be getting somewhat blurred. The scathing words from the Delhi High Court as it granted bail to activist Natasha Narwal in a 2020 Delhi riots case. The court then followed with this ominous declaration. If this mindset gains traction, it would be a sad day for democracy. After over a year in jail, the Delhi High Court on Tuesday granted bail to Pinjaratur activist Natasha Narwal, Devangana Kalita and Jamia student Asif Iqbal Tanha. They were arrested in May last year under the stringent UAPA law, charged with premeditated conspiracy in the Delhi riots.
You can't keep charging everybody under terror laws, which has very, very drastic consequences. So even the court's accountability increases in such cases.
In May, Natasha Narwal was granted brief bail to cremate her father, Mahavir Narwal, who had passed away from COVID-19 during the second wave. She had surrendered soon after. The arrest of the three has become a rallying point of civil society anger against the jail instead of bail impulse. Putting that precise impulse under its hammer, the Delhi High Court observed, it is well settled that detention in custody pending completion of trial can cause great hardship to an accused, that it is improper for any court to refuse bail as a mark of disapproval of the past conduct or to refuse bail to a person yet to be convicted only to give him a taste of imprisonment as a lesson. The judgment is a strong one and emphasizes the principle of bail not jail, seen to have been flouted repeatedly in recent times.
If a citizen's liberty is at stake and the judiciary does not stand up, which it has not stood up substantially in last few years, then I think this judgment must be welcomed by one and all, and these judges must be given tremendous applause for what they have done.
Even more scathingly, in the Asif Iqbal Tanha judgment, the Delhi High Court observes, upon a closer scrutiny of the submissions made on behalf of the state, we find that the submissions are based upon inferences drawn by the prosecuting agency and not upon factual allegations.
Justice Mridul and Justice Bambani have actually said exactly what the law is, which we sometimes lose sight of.
Protest is not terrorism, and even a call for a chakka jam is not equivalent to terrorist activity. That is the gist of the judgment of the Delhi High Court granting bail to the three activists today. The court has also cautioned courts that just because the government has sanctioned prosecution under strict UAPA provisions does not mean that the courts must accept that blindly.
Finally, in a declaration of support for the arrested activists as well as student protesters in general, the High Court observed, having given our anxious consideration to this aspect of likelihood of threat and terror, we are of the view that the foundations of our nation stand on surer footing than to be likely to be shaken by a protest, however vicious, organized by a tribe of college students. Natasha Narwal has become the face of the state's crackdown on its perceived enemies. The implications of today's observations by the Delhi High Court could have far-reaching consequences. With Anisha Mathur and Nalini Sharma, Bureau Report, India Today.
Viewers, whatever the court has said today, leave that separate. The fact is, all these three activists, three of them, have spent 1 year in jail. For today, the High Court to say that the state was anxious to prove dissent and right to protest is not terrorism, and that line was blurred where the investigation was concerned. 1 year in jail under UAPA, which practically means no bail, no trial. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. I have Sanjay Hegde, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court. I have Satya Ranjan Swain, Advocate. I also have with me Geeta Pal. She's Natasha's paternal aunt. If both you gentlemen can stay on with me, I'd like to begin with Ms. Pal. Ms. Pal, your niece has spent 1 year in jail. You yourself, your family have been through extremely trying circumstances. You have lost your brother, Natasha's father, where she could not even come and see him because she was in jail. Today, the court said that there was anxiety on the part of the state to prove dissent, which was not there because this was right to protest.
Hello?
Ms. Pal, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Ms. Pal, my first question is, your family has been through a fair amount. You're Natasha's aunt, she's your niece. You've been through a fair amount of tribulation. You've lost your brother. Natasha's lost her father while she was in jail, where she was not even allowed to come and see him while he was in hospital. All of this in context of what the High Court said today. Is it bittersweet somewhere?
जी, नताशा की बुआ हूँ मैं, जैसा आपने भी बताया
जी।
नताशा जब 13 साल की थी तब उसके मदर नहीं रहे, तो ब्रदर ने ही उनकी परवरिश की। और नताशा से पहले अगर मैं कहूँ तो हमारी भी परवरिश जो है भाई साहब ने की, डॉक्टर नारवाल ने की। और उनकी जो सोच थी या वो भी सोशल एक्टिविज्म में विश्वास रखते थे, और उन्होंने अपने स्टूडेंट लाइफ में बहुत सारे इस तरह के काम किए थे और इस तरह के प्रोटेस्ट में वो शामिल रहे थे। और वो बहुत ही ब्रिलियंट स्टूडेंट रहे हैं हरियाणा एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी के हिसार के जी, और थ्रू आउट वो गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट रहे थे। और उन्होंने जो और वो जेल में भी रहे, उनको भी अपने इस तरह के पढ़ाई की कीमत अदा करनी पड़ी, लेकिन फिर भी उन्होंने मतलब उसको बहुत बोल्डली फेस किया और अपनी पढ़ाई को कंटिन्यू किया, अपने गोल्ड मेडल को नहीं टूटने दिया। और उन्होंने जो हमारी परवरिश की, हमारी भी उसी तरह से परवरिश की कि सामाजिक सरोकार जो है हमारे जिंदगी के, उनमें शामिल रहना, असमानता के खिलाफ, असंवैधानिक तरीके से जो काम हो रहे हैं उनके खिलाफ आवाज उठाना या अन्याय के खिलाफ आवाज उठाना, वो उस तरह की सीख हमें देके गए हैं। और उसी के तहत जो है नताशा ने भी उस माहौल में वो पली थी।
जी गीता जी, आज थोड़ा अजीब लग रहा है क्योंकि कोर्ट ने तो साफ बोला है कि राइट टू डिसेंट का मतलब नहीं होता टेररिज्म, और जो एंग्शियस था जो स्टेट प्रूव करने के लिए कि ये डिसेंट था, जो ये नहीं था। पर अजीब लगता है क्योंकि 1.5 महीने पहले ही आपके भाई का देहांत हुआ है, नताशा के फादर का देहांत हुआ है। अगर तब हो जाता, कम से कम नताशा अपने पिताजी से मिल तो सकती थी।
हाँ बिल्कुल, इस बात का हमें बहुत अफसोस था कि नताशा भी भाई की तरह बहुत इंटेलिजेंट लड़की है और बहुत ही सॉबर किस्म की है, और वो भी कुछ ऐसा नहीं कर सकती है, हमें पता है वो बेकसूर है, और उसको एक बहुत बड़ी कीमत अदा करनी पड़ी कि उसके फादर नहीं थे। अगर वो होती, अगर वो जेल में नहीं होती, तो शायद वो भाई को इस तरह की नहीं जाना पड़ता। और इवन जिस तरीके से जाने के बाद, क्योंकि नताशा का भाई भी कोविड में था, भाभी थी नहीं, नताशा भी नहीं थी, और वो जिस तरीके से सॉरी जिस परिस्थितियों से जूझते हुए चले गए, वो तो हमें उसका तो हमें अफसोस रहेगा। और जिस तरीके से नताशा को भी इंटरिम रिलीफ जो दिया, और जब तक वो नहीं रहे, अगर पहले आ जाती तो वो शायद उनको देख लेते हैं। उनकी आखिरी ख्वाहिश थी कि एक बार नताशा से मिल लूं, और एक इंटरव्यू में भी उन्होंने बोला था, उनको डर था कि हो सकता है नताशा घर आए और मैं ना मिलूं।
I'm very sorry, Geeta Pal
जब
ji.
नताशा
I'm very sorry that you have to go through this. I'm really sorry. I want to, आप मेरे साथ बने रहिए. I want to go to our other guests here. I have Sanjay Hegde and Satya Ranjan ji. You know, Mr. Hegde, 1 year, all three of them have spent in jail, and now today, the Supreme Court has pretty much read the Riot Act to the Delhi police and the state.
It's the Delhi High Court which has done that, and it does remind all of us how important having an independent judiciary is to the rule of law. Sometimes the judges may decide after some time. Sometimes the pressure of work is so much. Sometimes like in recent times, the pandemic has intervened. But what stands between India being a police state and India being ruled by the rule of law is a strong, independent, assertive judiciary. If that gets lost, then almost everything gets lost. It was the police case that mere expression of dissent, participation in public protests amounted to terrorism. It required the judges to point out to them that, look, the UAPA was made for a specific purpose. If you mix up purposes, if you use a broad brush to mow down everyone, then that is simply wrong. The law does not permit you to have that broad a brush. I welcome this judgment. While we all are sorry for what Natasha and the others have had to undergo, we must remember that even today, there are many more who are inside who do not have a media campaign in or media attention, who do not have access to justice, who do not have lawyers. I hope that this is the beginning of a welcome trend on the part of the High Court and other courts to see to it that state excess is contained, especially in the matter of human liberty. Whether it is in the case of the Delhi riots, or whether it is in the case of Bhima Koregaon, or in several other cases all over the country, where essentially if a policeman decides to lock you up, it takes a massive fight over the years to regain your freedom.
You know, stay with
India
me.
Should
right. Stay with me, sir. I want to bring in Satya Ranjan as well. Satya Ranjan, why should the spotlight once again not be on the draconian UAPA law? All three of them have paid, you know, the biggest price. 1 year in jail to be told that your dissent wasn't terrorism.
See, this is not a dissent simpliciter. This is one. You have to appreciate that while dissenting, they had done something which is very criminal in nature. They have tried to insult the constitutional principles which we hold dear.
How?
They had attempted. I will tell you that there are numerous instances, and you have to see those.
So you're saying, sir, the learned court didn't see any of that today? The High Court didn't see any of that today?
What I wanted to tell you. Yes, I wanted to tell you that as per the case of the prosecution, there are 740 prosecution witnesses, including the public witnesses, which are yet to be examined. Only that the court had with them while adjudicating this is the charge sheet and two supplementary charge sheet. We need to appreciate this thing that this is not an acquittal. This is simply a bail. And as per the law, once the investigation is complete, the person, the petitioner or the accused is entitled to bail.
So what should it say, Mr. Ranjan, what should it say about the Delhi police? That they have actually filed a charge sheet without taking any witnesses in mind? That they have built such a weak case against the three who they have charged on UAPA?
See, these public witnesses has to be examined when the trial will begin. You have to also go through the judgment, starting from the beginning to till the end. In paragraph number 38, it clearly says, considering the COVID pandemic second wave, we are granting this bail. And this is not an unconditional bail that is being given. 5 conditions.
Sir, no bail is unconditional usually. All right, okay. Would you, with your permission, can I ask Mr. Hegde to respond because he's gone through the order copy? Yes, Mr. Hegde, would you like to come in to what Mr. Ranjan is saying?
See, the first thing is that the number of witnesses is no guarantee, is no answer to the quality of the witnesses. And besides, if your basic case is weak, what can the witnesses do? The High Court at paragraph 66 in the Tanha case says that in our view, on an objective reading of the allegations contained in the subject charge sheet, there is complete lack of any specific particularized factual allegations. That is to say, allegations other than those sought to be spun by mere grandiloquence contained in the subject charge sheet that would make out the ingredients of offences under sections 15, 17 or 18 UAPA. Foisting extremely grave and serious penal provisions frivolously upon people would undermine the intent and purpose of Parliament in enacting a law that is meant to address threats to the very existence of our nation. Wanton use of serious penal provisions would only trivialize them. Whatever other offences the appellant may or may not have committed, at least on a prima facie view, the state has been unable to persuade us that the accusations against the appellant show commissions of offences under sections 15, 17 or 18 UAPA.
Okay.
In a sense, the High Court is saying, listen, Mr. Policeman, you have not been able to make out a case under the UAPA. Whatever else, protesting this, that, ordinary law, fine. UAPA, you cannot cheapen this.
Mr. Ranjan, I'll give you 10 seconds to respond, sir. Then I'll need to close the show. Go ahead.
See, we need to appreciate that while deciding this case, the court was only concerned with the bail jurisprudence. And in numerous cases, the Supreme Court has clearly stated that once the investigation is done, the appellants are entitled to bail. So the High Court has granted them the bail. In numerous instances, the prosecution has highlighted several instances in which this appellants were found indulging in activities which are not simply dissent or right to protest, including activities in which stones were used, acids were used, chili powders were used. This is not simply a case of...
with what we have read, sir, it says that they were part of organized protest, but not taken to arms. But having said that, the case is still open.
There is a larger conspiracy.
Okay, all right. Appreciate you both joining us, gentlemen, and thank you, Ms. Pal. The fact is, 1 year of all three of them has gone behind bars. Should it not put the spotlight on the misuse of the UAPA, which is basically jail without bail or trial? Thank you all for joining us. A quick break. Up next is Rahul Kanwal.
Keep watching India Today.